What's good, YouTube? Den's here. Today I'm going to be coming at you guys with a new series where I try and survive one whole year in Project Zomboid. Now, I'm not the most experienced player of Project Zomboid. I did pick the game up fairly recently and I've been enjoying it quite a lot. I put a couple of hours into it, not enough to where I know absolutely everything. So day one, spawned in this house and I just decided to loot the kitchen, and good news, I found a ton of food and I managed to find a can opener. I checked the fridge, a lot of fresh food in there, and then at this point I was debating if I was going to make this place be my area for the entire day. Didn't really plan on building in day one, so I just really wanted to find a house where I could settle and spend the night in there. But yeah, fridge had a ton of food, so I said to myself, good place, good source of food. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Decided to take some food just to keep some on my character, because you really just never know. Checked the bookshelf. I did manage to find a couple books, and I knew I'd spend some time in here reading these books. I just decided to check every other room after that just to see what else I could find. I did manage, however, to find an alarm clock, which I didn't like too much, but at least it told me the time, so I took it. Hopefully get a new watch soon though. Then I decided to check more rooms in the house just to see what else I could find. I managed to find a saw. Now with the saw, I was actually unsure if that could be used as a weapon, but I just took it anyways. I did go back to the bookshelf, and I did say that I'm going to spend some time in this property reading, so I did install the mod where you can read while walking, so that's also a good thing there. I decided to inspect the house, just the outside of it, while I was reading, just to check and see if there were any zombies, because if it was a thing that I had to move, I wanted to be aware of my area before I left. Yeah, as I continued reading the Electrician Volume 1 book, I was still inspecting the area just to check and see. Really didn't want to get creeped up by a zombie, get bitten, and then have this whole series end extremely early. I am very curious to see how far I will go though in this game. I am quite new, which makes it kind of interesting in a sense, but I have played a lot of zombie games, so it should be interesting enough. Yeah, I just continued reading the Electrician book, and then I said to myself, once I'm done with this book, I'm going to move on to the next one. So I did find a trapping book also on the bookshelf and decided to read that. I wanted to make sure that I was still aware of my surroundings. I was constantly looking outside, constantly looking at the windows, and then I finished the trapping book. As I just scavenged around the house some more just to see what else I could find, I did manage to find some more books. A mechanics book in the other bookshelf, so I picked that up and started reading. I wanted to use my early days to do the boring stuff, just level my character up as much as I could, increase my knowledge, read as many books as I could. So as I was reading the mechanics book, I did see a zombie which is banging on the window, and then I knew that would create some sound, so I knew that would attract more zombies. So I thought to myself, it's time to get out of here. I read some books, I'm happy with the progress I've made, ate some food, took some food, and yeah, I was on the move. I did manage to stumble upon the school. I did say to myself, there are a ton of books in there, and I could potentially find myself a school bag that I could use to carry more loot. However, I did find quite a good few zombies outside, and the only weapon I had was this butter knife that I found inside of that old property I was in, and I knew a butter knife was not going to be enough to take down a lot of these zombies. So yeah, I continued to scout the area just so I could be aware of my surroundings, just in case it was a thing that I was to come back here. And then I definitely decided at this point it's time to leave. I'll come back here another day, maybe when I meet some survivors, get a bigger group, maybe get some guns, who knows. I just knew today wasn't the day that I needed to be here. As I kept walking, I decided to leave the school. I decided to move around, see what else I could find. I wanted to find a new property where I could go off and search some more stuff. At this point, my main goal was to find a bag, potentially find somebody that could help me out there, and find a place that I can hunker down for the night. So after killing this zombie, I actually did realize just how terrible the butter knife was, but I did manage to get a watch from him, and I could finally get rid of this alarm clock, so that's also good. That zombie kill just confirmed to me how terrible the butter knife was. I knew I needed to gear up, get myself better weapons. Considering I also did really want to hit that school and find new books and potentially a bag, I knew I needed to gear up and make myself stronger. So I walked through the town, seeing tons and tons and tons of zombies. I did grow a bit of a comfort just walking past these zombies. I didn't find them too much of a threat. Hopefully those words don't come to bite me in the future. So as I was walking through the town, I did manage to find a big house. I said to myself, I can't keep walking through this town without checking any of these houses, so I decided to check this one. If there are any zombies inside, I will deal with them and then I will start looting the place. Hopefully I can find a duffel bag in here and some more books. As I went around looting every room in the house, I wasn't really having too much luck, and then I decided to check some more. Hopefully I could find some form of weapon in here, a duffel bag, some books. Ideally that's what I would want from all this. I decided to check the upstairs section just to see what it was I could find. I wanted to clear this place out just in case there were any zombies in here. I didn't want to catch a nasty surprise and have myself get bit. So I checked the wardrobe and voila, found a motorcycle helmet. So all my DayZ fans know that a motorcycle helmet is the most powerful and the best protection headpiece in DayZ, so I was assuming the same was in Project Zomboid, unless there was some form of military helmet that you could use. I also did manage to find a sweater, so I guess that's good for warmth and bite protection. And I also had to drink some water because I literally went the entire day so far without drinking anything. I had food, but I hadn't drank anything yet. So to come back downstairs, I continued to loot, and I did find a kitchen knife, which replaced my butter knife. That was absolutely terrible. I didn't think the kitchen knife would be much better, but I mean, it was a butter knife. I did manage to search the bookshelves, and I did find some books. I found a first aid book. I knew first aid would be very good for my character, considering I could potentially get shot by some bandits or attacked by some zombies. You just really never know. We're in the zombie apocalypse after all. So yeah, as I was reading the book, I was doing the same thing that I was doing, just scouting outside, checking my surroundings, just being aware. I didn't want to get ambushed by any zombies if it was a thing that I wanted to leave. I did manage to find some food in the kitchen, so I did know that I would be safe here if it's a thing that I was to stay the entire night or for a very long time. As I was reading the book, I kept hearing this banging sound, and I thought it was in the other house because I checked everywhere until I came in this room and found out there's a zombie behind this door. The thing is, I didn't know how many it was, so I wanted to just open the door, kind of let them or him or her walk out, and it turns out it was only one. I proceeded to test out my kitchen knife, and unfortunately this zombie was the first victim. And yeah, watch this. Better than the butter knife, but not what I want. It'll do. I did manage to find a map on this zombie, which was a good thing as well. Maps are always good because I'm not even sure what the Zomboid map looks like, or I don't know too much. I did find a gun case upstairs, which I'm unsure what it's for, but I mean, it's always good to just take stuff just in case and learn about them later. After coming back downstairs, I did manage to find a zombie outside, and the window beside the zombie was smashed, so zombie could easily just crawl in if they knew I was in here. I went to the kitchen just to get some food because my character was hungry. One thing I figured is that I'm gonna have to eat a lot of food, so once I get myself set up, once I get a place I can call a home, I will have to come to a lot of these towns and look for food. My luck for finding food has actually been good, so this is a good thing, but I do believe once we get into the later days, later weeks, it might become a problem. Also, as I was scouting outside, I did manage to see a small group of zombies outside. Once again, I have a kitchen knife, so I knew this wasn't going to be enough. The zombie from downstairs actually managed to break in, and then I decided to deal with this zombie and get out of here quickly because I knew the noise would attract a lot of zombies. So my knife actually ended up breaking also, which was low-key annoying. I could hear more banging on the doors, and then I decided, yeah, it's time to get out of here. I am not trying to get in a fight when I have a knife. So I went outside and continued walking. I really had no destination as I just didn't know too much in this game. So yeah, I mean, I was just walking and walking, hopefully find somebody or something that catches my eye. I did manage to find the police station. I knew there would be weapons in there, potentially bulletproof vests, but I also did say to myself, police station will be massively populated with zombies. I knew it wasn't the right time to go and loot the police station, so I just left. I did manage to find a fire department though, and I definitely knew that I wanted to loot this place because first thing that came to my mind with a fire department, two things actually, a fire axe and firefighter suit. Firefighter suit, I knew they would be absolutely amazing for resistance, so I definitely wanted to get one. When I looked inside the window of the fire station, however, I did try to get inside and I saw a survivor, Jennifer. I really was struggling to open this window. I I did manage to walk inside, and I saw a small group of zombies heading our way, and Jennifer was also in there. Jennifer was unaware of this, by the way, so I just left. I didn't do the noble thing, which would be to protect Jennifer, help her. I said, I'm sorry, Jennifer, there's only so much I can do. The zombies were closing in on her, and they were about to get her, and I knew, yeah, Jennifer was also going to join the group. I could hear Jennifer screaming inside, and I thought, that was it, she's dead. I did feel bad, I probably should have helped her, but both of us were never going to survive in there, especially considering the weapon that I had. I didn't have time to get in there and get something else. I took a quick peek in there, and to my surprise, Jennifer lived and killed every single zombie. I was wondering if Jennifer was going to be mad at me just for leaving her, or if she even knew that I was in this building in the first place. So, if she did know I was here, she would be mad. I decided to loot some of these zombies just to get some gear off them, and I did see another zombie walking in here. It was only one, so I didn't really want to run away too much. Jennifer dealt with him. It was at this moment I knew Jennifer was a badass, so I took my chance and asked Jennifer to join my group. I didn't know how she'd react because I was unsure if she actually saw me run away from her when she was fighting the group. Turns out she didn't, because Jennifer actually did agree to join my group, so I was very, very happy with that. The first survivor I met, she's an absolute badass, can fight, can protect herself. I mean, she took down this group in here, so she's pretty badass. Way to make an intro, Jennifer. Way to make an intro. So the group that was 1 is now 2. Jennifer and I were going to conquer absolutely everything, and we were going to turn this fire station into a temporary base, potentially permanent base. One thing that I do want to do in Project Zomboid is I want to have multiple bases. I want to have multiple bases of operations in different towns. Similar to how The Walking Dead, more so the final seasons work, where they had like Hilltop, they had Alexandria. I can't remember the name of the final season place, but you get what I'm saying. So I looted the fire station, hoping to find some firefighter suits and some fire axes. Luckily, I found the 2 of them. Not even luckily, because it's literally what we knew would be in here. I just thought that a lot of the firemen would take them, seeing as they know we're in an apocalypse. But I did manage to find some. I did start to feel good about how my character was looking. I did feel safe in this firefighter suit. I did also manage to find a bulletproof vest in one of the lockers, so that was also very, very good. So firefighter suit, fire axe, and a bulletproof vest. I did feel very, very, very protected. I really did want to protect myself from bites, because bites were mainly the only thing I was scared of in this instance. So far I was happy with how the day was going. I did manage to get myself some good gear, managed to clear the fire station, and I managed to get myself a survivor. So I drank some more water and then decided to go and check the upstairs just to see what it was that I could find. As I was checking the upstairs, I couldn't hear or see any zombies, so I did think the coast was clear here. I did manage to find a kitchen, and I found some sort of living room, but yeah, some form of living room, I think. I'm not entirely sure. So what I done was I went into the room and I decided to call it a night, as it was just approaching 11 p.m. So yeah, thank you guys for watching for day 1, and I'll see you here for day 2.